Hey internet, how are you? My name is Soul Control. I'm a new streamer, and well, yeah, fairly new streamer. But anyway, um, what I want to talk about, and trust me, I'm a small time guy. Ain't nothing special about me at all. But I am a gamer, and yeah, and I play online a lot. And one of the games, some of the games that I play is Streets of Rage, and right now Streets of Rage, Fist of the North Star, and I play Dead by Daylight, poker from time to time. But what I wanted to talk about with you guys is how Dead by Daylight breeds awful people, and it really does. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because when I look up Dead by Daylight and I play the game Dead by Daylight, one of the things like I noticed about the game itself is that it brings out people's worst emotions. It brings out people's panic. It brings out people's hatreds. And like, I'm not going to say any names, but when I play online with people, even myself, people are quick to get angry and call each other names. You have streamers who berates and degrades the people that they're playing with, right? Even myself, like, I don't know if some of my Dead by Daylight stuff is up on stream on Twitch, but look it up. Even I get angry. And to me, like, that's not a good thing. And the reason why I say that is because I've seen via playing with people, and I've seen streamers have terrible relationships, break up friendships, even like their own relatives, right? Their own relatives don't even want to play. So what does that mean about Dead by Daylight? It breeds awful people. It brings out the worst of people. So for example, well, let's just say if a streamer is playing killer, right? So one of my favorite channels I like to watch is let me see, is Spooks and Juice, and I'll put his channel in the description. And if I'm saying his name right, I think his name is J.E. Let's see if I could bring if I'm saying his name right. But either way it go, I'm gonna put his yeah, J.E. J-A-E-E, and I'll put his channel. Since I'm bringing them up, I'm gonna ask you guys to support them, because they really do a good job with showing how people react to them, right? But at the same time, I blame the game. And the reason why I blame the game is because the game itself drives people to, sometimes you just can't say, like Spooks and Juice say, it's just a game. Not when you caught up in a moment, it's not just a game. Not when you feel like there's always a situation that you can get out of via other people, right? Or it's not just a game when killers don't make it fun. Okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, with killers, which is one of my biggest complaints, is that the game is killer friendly, right? Because the killer, who's ever playing the killer, can, one, camp you, two, tunnel you, three, have all the answers to everything that the survivor is doing in the game to stop your progression. One of my biggest complaints is barbecue and chili, right? So barbecue and chili, and I have it right here. It says a deep bond with the enemy unlocks potential in one's aura's reading ability. After hooking a survivor, all the other survivors are revealed to you for 4 seconds when they are farther than 40 meters from the hook. And then you have Pop, Ghost, and Weasel. And then you have Tinkering, right? Auras and noises that can help the killer pinpoint survivors. To me, that's cheating, right? In the hands of a killer, that's information. So if I get off a hook, oh, you know, he's been hooked and now that person has to hide in the locker, and oh, he's been hooked, and oh, there's a survivor over there doing the gen, so let me go over there. And then in flash, that survivor's in the chase when they may be 80 or 90% progressing on the gen, right? And now that killer, now that survivor is hooked. And so now, with that survivor being hooked, that can be 1 hook or 2 hook. And if the killer's an asshole, they can tunnel that survivor that they hooked. Or if they play the game right, they could go for other hooks, which is why I love True Talent. And I'm gonna put his link in my description since I brought him up. The one thing about True Talent is that he'll go for hooks. I never really see him tunnel. I never really see him camp. Now, Asdarva, to me, like, I love his channel, but he plays real scummy, right? He plays real shitty, where he's camping, where he's tunneling, where he's going for kills. And people that watch his channel, they pick up tips from that. He's one of the gods in the game. So why am I saying that? Well, I'm saying that is because people that play the game casually, like I do, casually but competitively, I still want to escape and I still want to win. No matter what I do, I can do 2 gens, 2 saves, 2 totals, but I still want to get out, regardless of pipping. That's the end game for a lot of casual players that play competitive, right? That still play competitive. It's like, yo, I still want to escape. But then when you have killers that ruin the game, camping, now things get ugly, right? Now you get to hate. I put out hate messages because it's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, especially when a person DCs. So when a person DCs and it's down to 3 survivors, 5 gens, the killer needs to lighten up because that person DC'd. Well, why did that person DC? They DC'd because 1, they probably getting tunneled, or 2, they probably got down at the very beginning of the game. So if they got down at the very beginning of the game, now they're frustrated. They're like, yo, I got caught 15 to 30 seconds in a match. So when people go off on killers, there's reasons behind that. And sometimes it's justified. I'm sorry. You can say it's part of the game or it's just a game. Like, even if you look at my gameplay now, look at how many survivors are down. Because survivors that play casual, on a casual level, right? They're not great at looping. I'm not great at looping. You have to respect pallets, right? Especially God pallets at the shack. Because if you throw that down at the very beginning of the match, it's almost like you screwing everybody else that want to go to the shack and loop the killer. Right? And so these are where some of the complaints come from. Like I said, especially when you have killers that have Hex Ruins. Right? Hex Ruins destroys the game. Devour Hope. Nowhere. No one escapes death. So you complete all the gens. Right? If you complete all the gens, Now, guess what? Nowhere. Nobody's escaping. What about haunted ground for the killer? Nobody's leaving haunted ground. He can slug everybody, all of the survivors that can't loot, or if there's no palace, or if they're in the dead zone, they down them. So in this game, when survivors complain about killers, it's justified. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care. If you say, well, it takes skill to play these killers, and there are weak killers, and there's killers that are slow, and blah blah blah. No, that's bullshit. I call bullshit. A lot of these killers are brain dead against casual players. Long-time players that have 8,000 hours or 20,000. I don't know. It's up there. I've watched streams where survivors have just hella 5,000 hours. But what about casual players that may have 20 hours or 100 hours or maybe 200 hours? They can't play the game, right? So when people complain and DC off from killers, it's a reason behind that. I DC a lot. I've been banned for a day from Dead by Daylight because I feel like killers have way too many answers, way too much information for survivors. And I'm looking at this right now. Overcharge, Undying, and I've seen killers on stream, on YouTube, even played against them that may not even have a perk, and they win games. They beat us. And for me, I can sit back and be like, well, you know what? I respect that. I respect it because, yo, he didn't have any perks. And I think that's how the game should be. When you look at a perk like Bitter Murmur, each time a generator is completed, the auras of survivors who are within 16 minutes of the completed generator will be revealed to you for 5 seconds. So killers in this game can see what you're doing. Again, not to be redundant, but they have so much information on where. And you have people like True Talent that say, well, nerf survival with friends. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Because if I know all the answers, if I can see auras, all I have to do is just run to that survivor, slug them, hook them, camp them. Even with borrowed time, a survivor can get tumbled. Oh, well, the survivor can go to the jungle gym, and well, what if that survivor, again, casual players, can't loot? So there are things that you have to take in consideration. Why some players honestly is like, yo, I'm gonna send this hate message, I'm gonna report it. Because it's frustrating when you play a game like this that's well made. I love the stages. I love how the characters. I love David. I love Yoon Jun Lee. She's one of my favorite survivors. Great mate. The Killers, Trickster, Leatherface. They are well made. Behavior done a good job with character creation. But now when you move to survivors, the complaints with me is that you still play with shitty people. And it still brings out the worst of people, even when you play survivors. Moving on to survivors. In survivors, and I'm gonna just speak for myself on this, one of my frustrations is, if you're not playing with friends, you fuck. You cannot rank up that easily. Cause me, I'm not that great at looping. So, and I still don't know all there is to know about the game. And I've been playing the game off and on for like about a year or two because my sister, introduced me to the game, and I like it a lot. And I hate it a lot. I think it's shitty. But, you play the game out of guilty pleasure. But for me, when you play Survivor and you play with shitty randoms, it's bad. It's really bad. Because if you look at this gameplay, survivors will get down. But like I said, within 15 to 30 seconds in a match, you fucked. So when you do a gen, right? I'm sorry, I'm taking a sip of this. When you do a gen and a survivor's hooked, the worst thing that you can do is watch a survivor on hook and nobody gets that hook. Nobody goes for that hook save at all. Because they're doing gens or they're aimlessly running around looking for totems. I play with people who would rather look for totems than get saved. I play with people who, and randoms included, who when they get hooked, they yell at you, come save me right now. You gotta come get me. And it's like, what? I'm like 90% done with this gen. You gotta come get me. And the killer, and so now it's bringing the worst out of people because it's like, oh, well, now I'm gonna get off this gen that's 90 to 95% done to come save you. But then what ends up happening is that you get chased, you get slugged, you get down, you get hooked. But that person's off the hook, right? So now you're stuck with the feeling like, yo, I saved this jackass and now I'm on hook. And you know the worst part about it? They don't come save you. Even if you save them with borrowed time, they go heal, they don't come save you. And the reason they give you that is because they say, yo, I'm dead hooked. I'm dead hooked, so I can't come get you. Somebody else had to come get you, but I just saved you. The killer's nowhere around. And so when that happens, right, now there becomes friction within the group. And I've been there where I have to hold my tongue with people that are my friends and that I play with. It's like I gotta hold my tongue because you see what's going on. Why is it, or when you play with randoms, it's like, yo, why is this person hiding in the locker? Barbecue and chili is over with. And what's sad is that they'll look around and they crouch. We're not playing against Hag. We're not playing against Traffic. We're not playing against Freddy. Why are you crouching? So the other part to it is when you play with randoms or friends that don't have borrowed time. And let's just say the killer's not a tunnel. The killer's not thirsty. A thirsty ass. Oh my god. I hate killers in this game. This game. Oh my god. This game is so Lord, shitty. It breeds shitty people. But even if the killer isn't a tunneler or a face camper, right? Let's just say he's playing the right way. When somebody takes you off hook and they don't have borrowed time, the bad part about it is when they hear the heartbeat and they still try to heal you. And you try to let go. They get slugged. And then you get slugged. And then you get back on hook. And then the game's over. And let's just say, when the game's over, you deep hit. Or you safety pit. Which is probably the second best thing to do, to have, if you don't pit. And so when people get mad and they rage, some raging is justified. Some raging is justified. I know that there's Spooks and Jukes had a great video. He had a great video up where he was talking about a popular streamer. I think his name is Matthew. I don't know his whole name, but his name is Matthew. I'm looking at it. And Matthew's raging. Now, to me, I feel like this. A lot of stuff that Matthew says, right? You know, no, it's not right. But I would like to look at all of his games when he plays Survivor. I want to look at all of his games. And I want to know how much of those rages are justified. Right? And I would like for people from the Dead by Daylight community that main survivors like I do, put up videos and put up statements why you rage at the game. Well, because you play with shitty people. It's just that simple. You play with people that don't want to help you, that can help you, and then you play with killers who a lot of these pro streamers really don't go up against most of the time because they're top ranked. So when you top rank, you play with people that know how to play the game the right way. So like I'm silver, but if we was a reset, I'll be back to ash, then bronze. It's hard to grind out of ash, bronze, and silver. Even in gold, before you reach red ranks, you start playing with people when you below gold. When you below gold, you play with people that just don't know the game. When you're at gold, going to red ranks, then you start seeing, okay, I'm playing with people that actually save me. I'm playing with people that's actually cleansing totals. I'm playing with people that's actually doing gens while I'm on a 2 to 4 minute chase. But again, I'm saying all of that to say this. No matter what behavior does, or, you know, the depths and all of this other shit, you know, no matter how much behavior nerfs the killers, nerf survivors, or take perks away, because I was one of those people, and I still believe that. I believe barbecue and chili is one of the most powerful perks in the game. It's cheating. Hex ruins are cheating. But no matter what they do, you're always going to play with shitty people. People that's going to get mad at you for no reason. People that's going to rage at you, to me, again, for just causes. But sometimes they get mad for no reason because they lose. But you got to think about it. Like, a lot of people aren't saying what they saying for no entire reason. They saying what they saying because they lost. They saying that they saying because their loss came from people that's face camping, that's tunneling, that's not doing gens, that's crouching, that's self-caring. I mean, if you look at my perks, I have gen rush perks, right? Because this game helped me understand that if I don't do gens, nobody else will. So I run borrowed time, I run blast mine, I run fast track, and I run prove thyself, and I take a man king. Because this game taught me that most of the people you play with won't do their job. And so, because of those things that I'm saying, I hope I'm making sense. This is why people get mad at each other, because of how the game is set up for nobody to really do what they're supposed to do. Mainly because they scared to really play the game. Mainly because they scared to get chases. Mainly because you got killers that's out here that's playing thirsty as hell, that's being assholes. And no matter what, in this game, you always going to come across that. That's why sometimes it's good to play with friends, but even then you get mad at your friends. So, in conclusion, what should we do? Well, if we play the game, we got to understand what it is. That people are shitty in this game, or not play the game at all. Which I probably will do, which is play the game, because there's part of me that do like this game because it's well made. But there has to be a level of understanding that no matter what happens, no matter what these, creators do in this game. You're always going to play with shitty people. And, unfortunately, that's the sad reality. But I still say, still be good to each other, still be kind to each other, have a level of patience, hold your tongue. And if there's something that you want to talk about with your friends, especially, hey, look, man, get offline, start a private party, say, look, man, I think you should have did X, Y, Z. But still be friends, because at the end of the day, it is just a game. And even though I said it's not just a game if you're playing on a competitive level, it's not worth berating other people or killing your friendships, right? So, let's be pro-human, let's be pro-mankind, and let's just, still love each other, but understand what this game is all about. And understand, you're always going to play with shitty people. Alright, thanks so much. Peace.